I'm Cindy Bertram. Thanks for joining me today on Good Ship Happens. And yes, we have a lot of exciting things coming up shortly. Of course, in the cruise industry, we have some new ships coming out. Also, of course, new ships for 2021. My God, a couple months away, right? But anyway, it's so good to see new ships coming out like crazy. And also, the Alaska season, of course, is finished usually in September and went extremely well, too. So, one thing that's kind of fun, too, is Virgin Voyages. That's Richard Branson's cruise line. But he prefers to call them voyages, right? Because he doesn't like to use the word ship, and they call their guests sailors. But Brilliant Lady, their newest vessel, came out about a month ago, and she's going to be doing Alaskan cruises coming up in 2026. So how fun, yes. She's doing some cruises now from Miami. They're going to be transitioning through the Panama Canal, yes. The Panama Canal is beautiful. I've not been there, but I've had some friends and people that have actually done the Panama Canal cruises. The ships have to be very, very small to get through those too, but it's great too. So she'll be doing Panama Canal cruise after she gets over the Caribbean season right now, and also then doing some sailings from the West Coast. And then she's going to be offering some Alaska cruises coming up in the late spring of 2026. So that's great too. Okay, and I'll show more about that too, but it's really great too because once again, they've got new venues. Once again, with Virgin Voyages and Brilliant Lady, what I think is really fantastic, I got a chance to see the Scarlet Lady back around 2021. It was amazing to see the ship. I was on the ship for about 7 hours, but with Virgin Voyages, what they do is they don't have main dining rooms. You've got choices of different dining venues to go to, all customized restaurants, no fees charged, of course. You just make your reservations in advance, which is great too. And also, they have diverse entertainment, beautiful area. Also, one thing that's kind of fun too, I'm not really a tattoo person, but actually, with Virgin Voyages, they got a tattoo parlor on board their vessels too. So, how fun. But also, like I said, with Virgin Voyages next year, she's going to be offering some Alaska cruises. It's beautiful up there too, and definitely, if you haven't thought about going, definitely think about it too, okay? And also, what's fun too is I mentioned, with a lot of cruise lines that are sailing from different places, but one is, of course, Port Galveston in Texas. I'm actually going to be there myself on November 7th. I got invited to see one of the MSC cruise ships. She'll be actually docking at Port Galveston, and that starts sailing out. She'll dock there November 7th. I'm flying down the night before, be on the ship that day evening. Yes, overnight too. And then she'll be departing, I think, on Saturday, November 8th. I'll disembark, of course, too, and then do some sailings from there too. So that's kind of fun because we've got a lot of ships that sail out of Port Galveston too, which is great too. And also, what's fun too is Carnival Cruise Line. They just announced that as far as their 2027 and 2028 deployments, they're actually going to be including a return to year-round deployment in Mobile, Alabama. Okay, and it's going to be a Conquest class ship sailing from this home port for the very first time. So beginning on May 15th of 2027, the Carnival Valor is going to be offering a variety of 6 to 8 day sailings from their home port, and then going to the Bahamas, Relax Way, Half Moon Cay, and also their Celebration Key. That's their new private island, which is just opened up earlier this year too. It sounds phenomenal too. And then before she makes her transition, she's going to finish her deployment sailing from New Orleans with a 5-day sailing on May 1st. Remember, this is 2027. And then I'll be doing doing 2 different 4-day cruises to Mexico on May 6th and May 10th. And Mobile, Alabama has been important to the Carnival family. And Christine Duffy, the president, mentioned that we're thrilled to mark the return of this year-round deployment. So she's going to be sailing out of there year-round. Okay. And the Carnival Valor is going to offer 2 14-day Carnival Journeys sailings as part of her deployment from the home port. And then September 26th, She's going to be sailing on a 14-day itinerary to the Caribbean and Panama, including stops in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, Cartagena, Colombia, Colon, Panama, Limon, Costa Rica, also Cozumel, Mexico, Aruba, and Curacao too. And then on January 16th, the ship's going to be offering a Southern Caribbean 14-day sailing from visiting San Juan, Puerto Rico, Montego Bay, Jamaica, also Amber Cove, Dominican Republic, St. Thomas, which is in the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's gorgeous there too. Aruba, Curacao, and Celebration Key. Celebration Key, of course, is their private out island too. So, like I said, they're going to offer also fun too. They're going to host a special 7-day Thanksgiving sailing on November 20th, visiting Key West, Florida, as well as Nassau and their private out island, Celebration Key too. So, but it's really great that they're expanding into offering sailings on that particular port too. And as mentioned, the Carnival Glory is going to continue sailing from Port Canaveral, offering a variety of different 3 and 4 night sailings, while the Carnival Conquest will continue to offer sailings from Miami, offering a variety of 3 to 4 day sailings, and they offer different itineraries too. So it's kind of fun too to think about different places you can actually go to and sail out of. You know, as mentioned before, traditionally, years and years ago, when the cruise industry first started in the 70s and late 60s, they began really sailing from Miami. Okay, that was kind of how cruise lines first started. Then they expanded into offering sailings out of Fort Lauderdale, which is great. Port Everglades, I've been there several times. And also then they started sailing out of Port Canaveral, which is an hour away from Orlando. And since then, they've been offering different sailings too from Tampa. Also, as mentioned too, is Galveston, Texas, but other things too for Caribbean sailings too. So definitely keep in mind that's really fun too. As far as some other things, what's really great too is with cruise lines, they really partner with phenomenal cuisine. Yes, they do. I mean, they work with high-end culinary chefs, which is great. But also what they do too is they receive different awards. And one that just came up too is with Princess Cruises. Their Royal Princess was just named the world's best culinary cruise ship in 2025 World Culinary Awards too, which is kind of fun too. So have fun. But anyway, that's actually Princess Cruises Royal Princess. And this came up because once again, Princess Cruises just revealed that their ship, the Royal Princess, was named the world's best culinary cruise ship by the World Culinary Awards too, and which is really great too because the cuisine at cruise lines is just phenomenal. And they mentioned that as far as favorite for Princess guests, they mentioned that they offer different dining venues too, which is great. They've got the Crown Grill, which is their signature steakhouse. They've got their Sabatini's Italian Trattoria, which has got their refreshed cuisine inspired by, I don't know if I pronounce this correctly, Friscia Baldi, which is Italy's legendary Tuscan winemakers too. The Chef Tables Luminaire, which is a really great culinary journey. Had a chance to do the Chef's Table myself a long time ago on a Princess Cruise ship too, but it just includes champagne, hors d'oeuvres, multi-course dinner hosted by the ship's executive chef. So when I did it, was just amazing to meet the executive chef. I mean, I love that so much too. And also what they do is just beautiful. It was beautiful, just amazing. And of course, then they've got the Ocean Terrace Seafood Bar. Guests can enjoy different ocean treasures, of course, including sashimi and sushi rolls. And also they got their it's called Camus Winemakers Dinner, and this features chef-curated multi-course meals with selections from iconic Napa Valley winery, Camus Vineyards. Also got Alfredo's Pizza. It's voted best pizza at sea, and it serves handcrafted individual pizzas by 13-time World Pizza champion Chef Tony. I think his last name is pronounced Jeremy Jani. Okay, but it's open kitchen seating too. It's really great too that Princess Cruises won this great award. This is actually a course on their Ship the World Princess. So that's great. Congratulations, of course, Princess Cruises on this too. Something else too came up too is you have a lot of ships coming out. I mentioned several of them, but also I know that with Royal Caribbean, their Oasis class ships, they have more ships coming out, and they made an official announcement actually yesterday. I got the press release. It said, okay, it's official. Royal Caribbean's 7th Oasis classification begins construction. Okay, and so now they've got their 7th ocean class vessel. Okay, and it's from the original Oasis of the Seas, then their gateway to Utopia of the Seas, but they're going to be adding this new ship, and let's see here, what else? More details. I just got that today. So they just did a big announcement, of course, which is great too. And so I'll share more about that later on too. But it's always exciting to hear about new ships coming out in the next couple of years too. Something else that was just announced too is Scenic Group, which is great. They actually unveiled their Scenic, I think it's Icon, it's IKON, its newest Discovery yacht. They just made the announcement, and they're sharing details about this new vessel being built in Croatia during the recent Australia roadshow too. And what they did was they had a rendering of the ship, which is great. Actually, it's a Discovery yacht, okay, but its remaining voyage is going to actually sail from Venice in April 2028, and she's likely to join the Scenic Discovery yacht there when she makes her inaugural voyage from Venice in April 2028. And then her maiden vessel season will go through to March 2029. Will span 110 ports in 21 countries, including 26 new destinations covering the Mediterranean, the Aegean, Egypt, and the Cape Verde Islands, Dakar, Antarctica, and also the Falkland Islands, and also the Chilean fjords too. But Antarctica looks phenomenal. I've never been there. Had some friends that actually gone there. It looks absolutely amazing, and it's really on people's bucket list, so to speak, because once again, ships have big, especially designed to actually go to Antarctica because of the cold ice weather, whatever too. But just, it's great. Plus they take smaller ships there too. But different ways to really, I think, immerse yourself in that part of the world too. As far as Scenic Icon, it's being built at the Comedy Shipyard in Croatia, and it's actually designed to excel in both polar regions, which, as mentioned, would be Antarctica, as well as warm weather destinations. She will have an Ice Class 1A super strengthened hull and carry 2 Airbus helicopters, a custom-built submersible Scenic Neptune 3. Also, they've got tenders too, and a bit more too. The Scenic Icon has been conceived and engineered and built with their in-house shipbuilding division of the MKM Yachts. Be operated entirely by their own dedicated Scenic crew. Scenic Group founder and chairman Glenn Maroney mentioned this too. He said, "This remarkable vessel is a result of more than 3 years of passion, innovation, and development by our team, and we're delighted to share the Discovery Yacht with our valued guests, travel advisors, and partners." And as mentioned, every element of the Scenic Icon's design has been designed to really deliver unrivaled experiences across diverse destinations and environments, from its primary base, the Mediterranean, to the wilds of Antarctica too. And so that's really kind of fun too. So keep it in mind too, because Scenic is just a wonderful, wonderful cruise line, and very lush, whatever too. Very experiential too. So that's great too. A bit more about that too. Yeah, like I said, I've got that. So she'll be actually joining Scenic in April 2028. So keep it in mind too. Okay. Actually, maiden season through March 2029 includes, as mentioned, 110 ports to 21 countries. Okay, that's kind of fun too. And also, something else too is kind of fun too is we've got new ships coming out, of course, which is great. But one thing that's kind of fun too is also with Celebrity Cruises. Okay, their new ship is coming out, and they just took acquisition of their new ship today, and that's their new ship. Their new ship is actually the Celebrity Excel, but Excel is spelled XCEL. They just acquired, they took delivery of the new ship, the Celebrity Excel, and said they just, the Excel is going to start sailing, of course, later in November, their christening cruise, whatever, too. But also they announced, fun thing too, is they've got another new ship they just announced. It's going to be part of their, I think their Excel class ships too. It's going to be called, love this, it's called the Celebrity Excite. XCITE. That's their new ship. They just announced it. Love the name. Celebrity Excite, but it's XCITE. Should be scheduled to debut in 2028, and it's going to be really continue their brand's evolution of premium cruising too. And what's great too is with the Excel coming out, of course, this November, they just acquire the ship, but should be sailing different places first, then be sailing, of course, to debut. Actually, I think she's going to be debuting sailing out of the Port Everglades. I'm not sure, but it's coming up in November pretty quickly too. But anyway, what's great too is it's really the next bold step to their journey with World Experiences Premium Travel too, which is great too. So once again, with the Celebrity Excel now joining the fleet, and of course the Celebrity Excite on the horizon, it continues to set new standards as far as their innovation. Okay, and their partners at Chantier de l'Antique. That's, I think, who actually is the shipyard that builds their ships too. And as mentioned, the handover ceremony actually took place, and in the Saint-Nazaire shipyard, of course, and they were actually Royal Caribbean Group executives, Celebrity Cruises leadership too, also Captain, I think his name is pronounced Kyriakos Madrigas, and also more than 1,000 crew members too. And the event featured traditional maritime honors, including a formal signing, of course, a flag exchange, and the toast to the ship's three-story Grand Plaza. And she's launching, of course, in November, a couple weeks away. And the Celebrity introduces 7 new spaces designed to blur the line between the ship and the shore, offering guests more ways to really relax and explore. With the Celebrity Excel, she's going to be actually sailing to, let's see here, she's offering 7-night Caribbean cruises from Fort Lauderdale in a couple weeks, and then she's going to reposition to Europe for the summer 2026, where she's going to be offering 7 to 11-night Mediterranean voyages from Barcelona and Athens, and then also featuring some new overnight stays in Portugal too. And of course, during this celebration, which just took place this week, I think it was yesterday or today, they mentioned the official start of construction of their new ship called the Celebrity Excite. That'd be their 6th Edge Series ship. Will continue to really advance the brand's commit to design and innovation, and will launch actually in 2028. So that's kind of fun too. So I think that's really fun too, because once again too is expansion, which is great too, but also new ships are fun. They have more for people's venues too, and just different ways to really explore and enjoy the ocean too, because once again, it's a great example of good ship happens too. So once again, it's so exciting to see the new name of the new celebrity ship coming up 2027, the Celebrity Excite. Yes, and you can tell I'm getting excited about it too. That's great too. And also we've got some fun things too, and then something else too as far as with cruise lines really expanding different areas too. As mentioned, Port Galveston. As mentioned, the good example too is the MSC Seascape. She's going to start sailing out of Port Galveston on November 8th this year, a couple weeks. I got invited to actually see the ship when she sails into Port Galveston on November 7th. I am flying myself the night before, spend overnight, then get taken down to the ship. But it is the celebrity, it's MSC Cruises Seascape, and she's going to start sailing at Port Galveston on November 8th. And she's going to be offering 7-night Western Caribbean itineraries, including going to Costa Maya, Mexico, Roatan, Honduras, also Cozumel. That's kind of fun too. So that's coming up soon, a couple weeks, but that's the MSC Seascape. She'll start sailing out of Port Galveston November 8th of this year. So a couple weeks. That's really fun, isn't it? Yes. And then something else that's kind of fun too is, like I said, we've got different ships coming out. Another one's coming out pretty soon too is also the new Princess cruise ship too. We've got the Star Princess coming up later this month, and it looks really beautiful. And yeah, that's coming out. Let's see here. Let's see. That's the let me see here. Check in one minute here too. That's yeah, Star Princess. Yes, she's coming out this month, which is great. Well, end of this month, I believe, but she's going to be. It's actually their second Sphere class ship, and she's going to offer different modern technologies too. And her passenger capacity is going to be 4,320 guests, but that's their newest ship, Star Princess. Love it. And it's going to be their second Sphere class vessel too. So she's going to have expanded venues, advanced technology. I'll share more about that too when I get more information about that too. But she's coming up pretty quickly too, which is great too. As mentioned, this Celebrity Excel with Celebrity Cruises, they just took acquisition of the ship, but as mentioned, doing different things too. Plus, our debut is actually, I think, coming up on November 18th, so that's about a month away too. And with the Celebrity Excel, it's their final in their Edge class ship too. It will debut November 18th. That's their christening debut date too. She has a capacity of 2,918 guests. Okay. And also, show where she's going to. That's kind of fun too, because once again, new ships are always exciting me too. Something else, we new Disney ship too. The Disney Destiny comes out November 20th, and it's going to be the third Triton class ship, and it really is featuring immersive experiences themed around the Marvel superheroes. It includes unique dining and entertainment inspired by this popular characters too. And her capacity is 4,000 guests, but that's the Disney Destiny, so keep that in mind too. And then also later on in December, Disney has another ship coming out, the Disney Adventure. That's going to actually debut on December 27th, and it was originally part of their global class ship, but the Disney Adventure was acquired and reimagined by Disney Cruise Line too. So I'll show you about that too. That's coming out later on too. Also, end of December, with another ship too. It's called Star Seeker, and that's actually Windstar Cruises' new ship. And she's called Star Seeker, okay? And her debut is actually December 28th. I'm sure she might be sold out by now. Anyway, she will accommodate just 224 guests, of course, and it's just significant growth for Windstar Cruises, which currently operates 6 different ships, and the Star Seeker will join their existing Star class vessels too. Those include Star Breeze, Star Legend, and Star Pride. Also, what's fun too is we've got another cruise line starting actually next year, Four Seasons Yachts. And Rates of Four Seasons 1 was supposed to debut this December. They pushed it back until, I think, March this next year. But it's a 14-deck, 679-foot ship. And it's really been designed to really is inspiration from Four Seasons Hotel, and also the Aristotle Onassis' iconic Christina O. Super Yacht too. It features 95 luxurious suites, and it costs $4.2 million to build. Okay, and it's going to have floor-to-ceiling windows, terrace decks, plunge pools. Also, their four-leveled funnel suite. Standout design is a villa on the sea, which is kind of fun too. I mean, yeah. And they've got other ships coming out, of course. More ships coming out 2026 too. As mentioned, the Four Seasons actually debut, and I think she's going to debut in March next year too. And it's going to be offering, I think, our first 7-night sailing will be featuring Antigua and St. Lucia from Barbados to Aruba. And then she'll be offering her maiden season in the Caribbean. And as mentioned, one thing that's kind of fun too is they have a special captain for Four Seasons, which is the Four Seasons 1. That's going to be Captain Kate McHugh. And she's an amazing person. I met her. I just saw her in the spring at Sea-Trade Cruise Global Conference. She's going to meet with her team too. It's great too. But anyway, she actually was a former cruise line captain with another cruise line for about 10 years. Stepped down, took some time off, and but she's going to be captain of the new Four Seasons 1 coming out in March this next year too. And then we've got, let's see, coming out April next year, another Norwegian cruise line ship too. It's the Norwegian Luna. I think I mentioned this before, but she's going to have a guest capacity of just 3,550 guests. They haven't mentioned her inaugural sailing, but she's going to debut in April of 2026 next year. And then we got another Royal Caribbean ship coming out next year. It's called Legend of the Seas. And she's going to debut, right now, she's going to debut in July of 2026. And they haven't revealed her maiden season yet, but also, I think she's, or inaugural sailing, I think she's going to be, in the summertime, be sailing Mediterranean, of course, too. And she's coming out in July this next year. And then she's going to offer year-round Western and Eastern Caribbean cruise line itineraries, too. And then, also with Four Seasons Yachts, they've got a second Four Seasons yacht coming out later on in 2026. They haven't released a date yet, too, but that's kind of fun, too. Also, with Viking Cruises, they're adding more ships, too. And I think they're going to actually have more than 100 sailing now, too. But they've got their Viking Mira debuting in June 5th of 2026. And with Viking, her main season is going to be the Mediterranean, Northern Europe. And has a capacity of 998 guests, too, which is great, too. That's Viking Mira, M-I-R-A, that's Viking Cruise Lines. Very successful, been around time, too. And then we got another, MSC Cruises. They've got a new ship coming out in 2026. That is their World Asia. And they haven't really released her sailing dates yet. Okay, you know, her maiden season, too, but she's scheduled to debut in 2026 next year. Also, we've got American Cruise Lines. They're really, really fantastic, and they do smaller ships. They can go through the rivers, whatever, too. It's great, too. But they've got two ships coming out, the American Maverick and the American Ranger. And with each of these ships, they just have accommodations for 125 guests each. And they've got 5 different categories right now, too. And also, another one coming out, too, is Regent Seven Seas. They've got their very luxury cruise line, Regent Seven Seas. And they got their Seven Seas Prestige coming out in 2026. They haven't released a date yet, but that's normal. Later on in 2026. And to have a guest capacity of just 850 guests. Okay, but look at that, too. It's very luxury, too. And then something else, too. We've got, Explorer Journeys. Explorer 3 is scheduled to debut in August this next year, 2026. She has a guest capacity of just 926 guests, and her inaugural sailing will be actually August 3rd, 2026. And she'll be doing a 7-night sailing from Barcelona to Lisbon. And their main season will be Mediterranean, of course, to Northern Europe. They're doing Greenland and Iceland, also East Coast USA, and also the Caribbean, too. And then as far as 2027, once again, more ships coming up too. They plan advance because it takes a couple years to build a ship too. So that makes sense, doesn't it? Also, we've got with Explorer Journeys, they've got actually more ships coming out. They've got their Explorer 4, which is going to come out, I think, let's see here, in 2027. And then they've got their Explorer 4 and 5 coming out in 2000. Let's see here. 20, I can't remember, it's 27, 20, I'm not sure. But anyway, they got Explorer Journeys. They're going to have Explorer 4, 5, and 6 coming out 2027, 2028 too. And also we've got Carnival Cruise Line. The Carnival Festival is coming out in 2027. And they haven't really mentioned the reveal date when it's going to sail out yet, but as mentioned, that's their new Carnival Cruise Line ship too. And then the World Atlantic, which is MC Cruises, is going to debut in 2027, and she will be sailing from Port Canaveral. I know that they haven't released the actual date when she will debut, whatever, but they're still working on that too because it takes some time too. So once again, yes, we've got also Oceania Cruises. Their Oceania Sonata will be debuting in summer 2027, and her capacity will just be 1,450 guests. So once again, people say what's the best cruise line, but the point is you've got so many options out there too. Just think about how many people would you like to be on the ship with, okay? And where do you want to go? Where do you want to depart from? Because there's so many options out there now too. That's what I'm really, really excited to see Port Galveston myself too. In about 2 weeks, it's going to be fun to really see what that looks like too, because I've never been there before myself, but it's really great because you've got so many options out there too. Also, more choices now than ever, because once again, the cruise industry has really come back very, very strong after we went through the pandemic, but we've got new ships being built and different options, customizations. Some cruise lines really partner with extraordinary chefs too, which is great too, and different places, because once again, I think what we learned during the pandemic was actually people had a cocoon, right? You had to work from home, and for a long time it was really tough even trying to fly, whatever, credentials, like that kind of situation too. Also, hotels, it was kind of crazy. Once again, I think during that period when we went through COVID-19, working from home and not being around people really, really was kind of emotionally upsetting people too. And once again, people just decided, you know what, we're here in life for a reason, for a short period of time compared to other things that come up. So let's just make sure we can do really, really amazing things too. And with cruise ships, once again, you've got choices. You've got river cruises in Europe. You take a river cruise on the Nile River, which is great too. Egypt, different places to go to. And also what's great too is Antarctica. Another great example, of course, because with Scenic, what they do too is ships that actually sail to Antarctica are small. They have to have special hull design too, make sure they're very, very safe during the cold temperatures too. And they go there for certain times, but it's very, very limited too. So definitely keep in mind that's something that's kind of fun too. Another one too is, I've mentioned this before too, but we've got also Celebrity Cruises, okay? They have been sailing to the Galapagos Islands for a while with their expeditions, okay? And they got their Celebrity Flora. That's their smaller ship, the Celebrity Flora. It's spelled Flora. Flora is actually open now for 2027 bookings too. So Celebrity Cruises, their Galapagos expeditions on their Celebrity Flora is open for 2027 bookings. So guests can actually choose from different itineraries. These include 7, 10, 11, or 10 nights. And they really offer really, really memorable vacation experience while offering local conservation efforts too, including reforestation too. And a bit more about the Celebrity Flora. That's actually just a 100-passenger mega yacht specifically designed for the Galapagos Islands too. It features all-inclusive accommodations, gourmet dining, also really exceptional hospitality too. What's great too is it's actually guided by expert naturalists from the Galapagos National Park, and guests can really explore the stunning nature and wildlife of the volcanic archipelago, and also they got unique experiences. It's kind of fun. One they call is glamping under the stars. Yes, snorkeling with sea lions, kayaking with sea turtles, and also coastal explorations along the volcanic cliffs, and guiding giant tortoise tours too. What's great too is people not be aware that too. With Celebrity Cruises, they have just celebrated 10 years of progress on the Scalisia reforestation project in partnership with the Galapagos National Park too. And it's known as the Rewilding Galapagos Initiative, and the program actually invites guests to really help restore natural habitats and also protect endangered wildlife. But how wonderful is that too? Have part of that impact in a positive way too. And also, each itinerary includes a visit to this reforestation area where celebrity floral guests can actually plant seedlings alongside the Galapagos Park Rangers. How fun is that too? Also, as the only tour operator collaborating with the Galapagos National Park on this initiative too, the Galapagos Celebrity Cruises really has planned to get this over 85,000 endemic plant species too. And to commemorate this milestone, park representatives and guests aboard Celebrity Flora will participate in a tree planting event. But how fun to be part of this. I mean, it just really excites me to find ways to really restore things too. But how wonderful. And the president of Celebrity Cruises, Laura Hodges-Beshi, mentioned we have the privilege of connecting our guests with some of the most pristine destinations on our planet, and understand the importance of maintaining the health of these delicate ecosystems too. And we are proud of our long-standing partnership with the Galapagos, and will continue to support education and conservation projects that will ensure the preservation of this natural marvel for future generations too. Also, what's great too is it was actually founded in 2005. Celebrity Cruises Galapagos Fund supports local conservation by restoring ecosystems and funding community projects too. And the newly renovated human carry-on nursery grows native plants for reforestation efforts too, and over the past decades, guests have really helped restore more than 60 acres of land that harbor diverse habitats for unique plant and animal species too. So once again, right now, they've got available to actually book the Celebrity Flora. That's their ship that actually goes to the Galapagos Islands, because once again, big ships can't go there. It has to be a smaller ship, and there are only so many ships can go there too. But once again, Celebrity Cruises has been doing this for a while, and I love what they're doing as far as their Galapagos expeditions are now open for booking right now too, and that's on the Celebrity Flora. So keep in mind too, because the Celebrity Flora, as mentioned, is just a mega yacht, and it was specifically designed for the Galapagos, and it just accommodates 100 passengers. That is it. So keep in mind too, because it looks like a beautiful place to go to. Years ago, when I was working as a travel advisor myself, I actually had a client, and she would take her family to different places to celebrate different things. For instance, when a grandchild actually graduated from high school or college, she would take the family on a big trip, and I actually booked to do the Galapagos Islands herself too, and she just it was an amazing experience for her too. Another friend of mine was a former travel advisor herself too, took her family there too. So it was amazing too. So once again, if you're looking for something really more unique, definitely keep Galapagos expeditions in mind too. And Celebrity Cruises is one that does that. Celebrity Flora is their ship. It's mentioned their mega yacht, specifically designed for the Galapagos too. So keep in mind, it sounds phenomenal too. And as mentioned, we've got a lot of new ships coming out next year, which is fun. Even some this year too. I think that's really fun too, because once again, we've got so many new ships coming out. So I have a couple good ones coming out this year too, with the new Princess cruise ship coming out, of course, too. Also, we've got the new Celebrity Excel coming out this year too in November, and then also we've got some coming up in the year too. So keep in mind too. But choices, and also definitely plan things in advance too, because one thing to come to is sometimes cruise ships sell out pretty fast, especially over the holidays too. I mean, I've never done a Christmas cruise. Those sell really fast. I did have a chance to do a cruise for Thanksgiving. It kind of came accidentally. It was really fun because, once again, I didn't have to cook Thanksgiving dinner. It was really fun to actually be at a cruise ship where they cook for you. But once again, they sell pretty fast too. So definitely keep things in mind. Get things lined up. What do you want to do maybe in 2026? Because with all these great new ships coming out too, it's definitely something to think about to plan in advance too. So if you try and book something and it's not available, also definitely I think it's very important to also think about booking through a travel advisor. Okay, I mean, cruise lines have their own reservation departments too, but I really think it's important to deal with a travel advisor because that's what they do. Having done that myself too, but it's a way to really kind of interact with a real person too, and definitely keep in mind because that's when they know what they're doing and they can provide the ins and outs and too. So that's good too. But it's really fun what they're doing. But it's fun with new ships coming out too, and as mentioned, I love the new name that Celebrity Cruises has for the next ship coming out, the Celebrity Excite, but it's X-C-I-T-E. Gets me really excited too. So if I tell people I'm excited, you know what? Maybe I should just spell it X-C-I-T-E. I'm excited, right? But spell it X-C-I-T-E-D. Sorry. How fun. And they just released that name today, which is really fun. They took acquisition of Celebrity Excel. It's going to be actually sailing over the ocean, and she'll be debuting and doing her inaugural christening event coming up in November. But I love Celebrity Excite. So definitely, if you want to get excited about something, then maybe just, hey, by the way, are you excited? And then just tell people, okay, I know another way to spell excite. It's X-C-I-T-E-T-E-D. Excite. Or excited. I'm excited, but it's X-C-I-T-E-D. Excited. And I'll be sharing more exciting things coming up in my future shows. It's really fun too, because like I said, we've got the new Royal Caribbean ship coming out next year in 2026. But they haven't made an initial announcement yet, but I have a feeling that with the new Royal Caribbean ship coming out next year, and her name is, let me check here first too, Legend of the Seas, coming out July of 2026. I know our maiden sea is going to be in the Mediterranean, but I have a feeling that they might have another chief dog officer on that ship too. Because once again, with Royal Caribbean, they've got two different chief dog officers. Rover was the first one, of course, and that was an Icon of the Seas. And then the new chief dog officer, Slater, just started sailing, of course, this year on their new ship, which is great too. But once again, I'm feeling that they were going to probably announce another chief dog officer on their new ship coming out next year. It's Royal Caribbean, and it's the Legend of the Seas. And it has a big capacity. I mean, with Royal Caribbean's new ships, their Icon class ships, they accommodate approximately 5,610 guests. It's big, but once again, too, you have different places to go to on the ship, different venues, categories. Once again, that having a chief dog officer on board the ship really makes people, I think, smile and be happy too. Plus, it really energizes their staff members too that work on the ships too. They haven't released anything yet, but I think they're going to have another chief dog officer on that ship too. So keep it in mind too. But once again, that will be on their Legend of the Seas coming out in July of next year, 2026. Royal Caribbean's new Icon class ship coming out in July of 2026. But I'll keep you posted if I find out about another chief dog officer too. It's kind of fun, isn't it? Yes, love it too. And then as mentioned too is we've got let's see what else too. Like I said, it's really kind of fun about the Four Seasons yachts too. That's kind of fun too. About new cruise lines are really, really starting to. That's really kind of fun too. I think that's fun too. So definitely keep in mind too, because once again, it's just great. And we've got, let's see here. I think I covered the ships coming out this year. Yes. Because the average came out earlier in the spring. Okay. And that's great too. So keep in mind too. It's wonderful. And once again, they're really focusing on sustainability efforts too. So keep it in mind too. Because once again, a great example, of course, is with MSC and their private out island. It's called Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. And they've worked with Dr. Sylvia Earls. She's actually a marine biologist, and she was actually at the opening when they opened their Ocean Conservation Center. I was there back, I was on the christening cruise back in April. It was really phenomenal too, so keep it in mind. I was back there in March. Yeah, March, but it was great. Just amazing too, so keep it in mind too. But she's an amazing person. Like I said, she's just an amazing person and marine biologist. And she has her own company, but she works with the MSC group, which is great too. So that's great too. Just so many fun things going on too. Plus, focusing on really bringing ocean life back too, because once again with the
I'm Dr. Sylvia Earle, a marine biologist, oceanographer, explorer, and I'm passionate about the protection of this blue planet. I grew up next to the ocean in the Gulf of Mexico, and I've witnessed how much the ocean has changed and how marine life has been endangered. But I know there is still time to help the ocean, which is why I was drawn to the Aponte family's sustainability mission. Explorer Journeys has a genuine ambition to connect people with the wonders of the sea, its marine life, its communities, spiritually, physically, and intellectually. We share the same values and have the same objectives to deepen people's relationship with the ocean, to explore, protect, and restore. Explorer Journeys calls it the ocean state of mind, a sensibility that will ensure the protection of this precious blue planet. Through my foundation, Mission Blue, we're working on ocean conservation, inspiring hope with champions across the world. Beginning with my extraordinary role as godmother to Explorer One, we will be heralding a meaningful collaboration between myself, Mission Blue, and Explorer Journeys and the MSC Foundation towards preserving and restoring the world's oceans, the blue heart of the planet.